And there you go, we are back. Sorry for the inconvenience. It was just a bit of a disconnection issue, but hopefully we'll be just back in a little bit as we've got the invites back into the session and catch up with the qualifying action that was there. And there you go, and we'll try to show and join as a spectator one, of course, because definitely you don't want to be joining into the session and driving, because sometimes that happens when you join the session in a bit of a quick. Even if you are the one streaming, it ends up for you being the one that is basically, you know, being the one that is driving at the race start, which of course you don't want to do. That causes a lot of inconvenience and a lot of issues for the drivers racing, so that you have to be careful of, and I'm sure we are careful of that. Of course, if you're enjoying the stream and you're new around here, please make sure to follow. We're just 3 followers away from 10 followers, and there you go, we are back with drivers now all on the soft compound as we already have a driver out of the session, so I wonder if they crashed or they had some kind of an issue. Drivers still on into tires. I am afraid that they would be trying to put a lap time in again. So of course, Russell with a great lap, 190, fully flat, trying to go everything at it, doing everything he had. And then of course the performance, and now everybody, I'm surprised with the ones. Of course there is a point for that into tire lap, but and there you go, he goes into the boards, of course invalidating his lap and might be ruining others' laps as well. I'm hoping not, and we're seeing a lot of drivers coming across that finish line. We're having just to go to them. As is Cape going to improve, and I think someone did improve as we're having drivers come across that start finish line, and it is going to be Seeger on the inter tires as he goes P7. He's not on inters anymore, of course. I believe no one is out on inters, but it's just showing how they are because of their first fastest lap. And there comes a Vister to start his lap, and then one of the Red Bull drivers, and it is the G that is P4 at the moment. And we have a Red Bull, another one I believe. It is not the Red Bull, it might be another car, but it is definitely going to try and go quick. With just 6 minutes remaining in the session, everybody's trying to put in the lap they can and put in the lap that they trust in, and that is going to be their best lap, as everybody's going to try and do the maximum. As Ferrari currently front row, it's Court Master and Russell themselves with a currently front row lockout for Ferrari, as Russell now beginning his flying lap, and I'm sure he would only want to improve and only want to get further and better from the time being, as we're just watching his lap, as we see a car behind, but I wonder if they are on a flying lap. No, they are not. What about Andy? He might be on a flyer, and he's not. In fact, he's going to pit. We've seen the Mercedes drivers, one of them has an invalidated lap, but an Alpine of Visser doesn't have an invalidated lap, and he goes P7 at the moment, only 109.8. I'm sure he only wanted to go faster and faster, but P8 at the moment, and we saw a switch in position, and that is Dots. Goes P2, 109.199. Of course, the Williams and the Red Bulls color is kind of similar in the map, so it's a bit of an trouble to recognize which car it is, and there we go, Russell into the wall he goes, and he's going to ruin the lap of the driver behind as well, causing the yellow flags, and he's put his car into the wall, damaging his front wing and damaging his tires as well. Comes across, Stewart goes 5/10 faster, but not fast enough position wise, and here is the man on pole, Russell, damaging his front wing, and of course straight into the pits. He's not going to be liking that. And there is an Alpine out already, and I wonder who is that. There's going to be Vista into the pits. Anyway, this lap was invalidated, but of course, you just try and be the faster one. Do we have a lap timer that is going to try and do a lap in? Not at the moment. I wonder if there is one. Yes, it is Dots, but he's going into the pits. He is trying everything, but still not close enough yet to Russell at the moment. Now everybody has a lap time on the soft compound tires except these two, Harry and SB in the Aston Martin. SB is in the garage and Harry on and out lap at the moment. As everybody is now on their out laps, of course, trying to begin. It's just 4 minutes now, just 4 minutes in the qualifying session to do the maximum and to pretty much get their lap times in, of course, as it is the last few qualifying minutes and few seconds that matter in qualifying, as track ramping up and track improving. You can never know that when are you, like, what position are you going to be. You can think that you're going to be on pole and you might not be, because that's how tracks ramp up, and the performance towards the end of the qualifying action and the qualifying session matters a lot. And there we go, we have the Mercedes of Cap, but of course they are both on a flying lap. It is Seeger clan, not Cap at the moment, in that Ferrari. So of course, sorry, not in that Ferrari, in that Mercedes. But one man who is on a flyer at the moment is Harry, who's going to try and get a better lap than the one he did on the intercompound tire. How fast does he go across the line? That is P11 only, and the slowest time so far on the soft compound tire. And SB has retired from the session. Did SB end up crashing? Because there is a yellow flag at one part of the track, so that might be the crash's Cap on a flying lap. Of course, he goes almost 5/10 quicker in the first sector, but as he's trying to do to master his previous lap time of 109.5. So the driver closest to that finish line at the moment and on a flyer is Cap, only in fact, because there's only two drivers on a flying lap at the moment. It is Seeger and Cap himself. Okay, so Cap is in fact a bit farther than Seeger is, and Seeger is going to also try and improve on his lap time, and he is not improving on his lap time at the moment. He might be going into the pits, I believe, because he's not going into the pits, and that didn't look like he was going to be improving. He's got bits of battery to utilize, of course, so hopefully it is going to be the one to be to his benefit. But as we are seeing other drivers coming across, it was Venom, I think, coming into turn one, of course, not being the fastest. How does go Cap? Cap goes P6 at the moment. Did he improve? He does not improve, in fact, on his previous lap time. As Star Wars is currently out of the session, might have crashed. As we're going to go have a look at a few other drivers, as Star Wars currently retiring of the session. I wonder if he DNF'd or he just retired himself to say that that is it. I am not going to be participating anymore. But we have a look at this man here, Codemaster. Currently was on the front row lockout, but on his first instant run, then Dots ruined it for the Ferrari party. How can he do? Does he go faster than his previous time? He does. 21 hundredths of a second. But that is not going to improve him position by still a little bit. 12,000. 2 Dots in second place, of course. It is super close, the competition and the performance of all these drivers, as it is going to be Seeger still not improving. I mean, he's going laps and laps on track after everything. There we go, Venom trying to improve as well. He's currently P10 with, oh, there you go, he has a spin on track already. Gets the spin on track, and does Child goes even faster, as we were having a look at a few other drivers. But we're going to look at Andy. In fact, he does not improve at the time, and he has a spinner ahead of him in the shape of Venom already trying to get out. And that is it for the qualifying action. So the drivers, Russell has taken the checkered flag. He's currently on pole, 109.0. Can anybody else deny him and be faster than him? Of course, Dots is going to be one of them. He's improving by over a tenth in his middle sector, I believe, and his teammate of Russell trying to get a front row for Ferrari. Can Dots ruin the party for Ferrari being on pole, as he's going to come across the line as qualifying has ended, and he's going to go on pole? What a lap! 108.7. Stonker of a lap, huge one, and that could easily be securing him a pole position as Codemaster into the pits as well. That'll mean that he's taken the checkered flag as well, some who haven't, and there is a Mercedes that is trying to improve, and it'll be into the pits as well. So at the moment we're just waiting for Andy. Does he improve in the just the last sector? Of course some others as well, as Venom is 120.0, so of course he had a spin and he's not going to be going, and Andy doesn't look to be fast enough, so of course he might be going into the pits as well. So not much that we have remaining in the session unless G is going for it, but of course he is not as well, so everybody's now into the pits. So as it stands, Dot Sparrow gets pole position, 108.7. It was a great lap from him. Russell P2 with 109.0. Then it is, and oh, he's gonna go crash maybe, just to try and DNF. He says a spin on track, of course that might be just a bit of a troll, or to end the session a little bit, take the checkered flag. And there we go, that is gonna be it for the qualifying session, as we just, everybody's now going into the pits and take the checkered flag. So at the moment as it stands, it's Dots on pole, Russell in second, the G in third, and Courtmaster in fourth. So Ferrari on the top two rows are good for him, and Star Wars retired earlier, quite early, I think a lot earlier than you would have wanted, in fourth place, or I shall say fifth place in fact. It is going to be, and that is the Williams man, Dots Beru, the fastest man on track. He's leading the Portuguese lineup on the grid. So Star Wars currently fifth on the grid. Is Cap sixth, Visitor seventh, and Secret Clan eighth, with Andy in ninth, and then pretty much SB I think retired for some reason if I'm not wrong, but we'll do how it stands. Of course Smart Pleasure retired very early and didn't manage to put a lap time on board to himself, which of course ruined. Didn't ruin it, but definitely would have wanted to have a time on board for himself, but he just I think crashed and got it out of the session. So hopefully he'll be trying to gain in the session and in the race, of course, as all these 13 drivers go out on track and show their talent, and expect nothing less but of a great action. But I think of course all these drivers would be looking to stay safe and stay out of any kind of trouble into turn one, because definitely this is where you need to be careful, because if you ruin it, your race might be ending just turn one. That's what you don't want early enough. And I wonder if we have a break before we go into the race. I'll have to have a look at it. As we await just waiting on it. Of course everybody now waiting and trying to prepare their cars the best for the race start, preparing their 36 lap strategy that they want to, of course, their times and their fastest lap. And there you go, yes, we do have a break as we go at 05 of the clock. It's 01 at the moment, so just about 4 minutes time. It's going to be definitely a greater one, as it's time for everybody to rest a bit, have a bit of a drink, and come back ready, bigger than ever, ready to get the best out of their car. Of course some might be delighted with their lap times, some might not be happy, so of course you want to be getting the maximum out of the car into turn one. A great opportunity to do it, a great opportunity to perform, to rewrite your qualifying performance. You couldn't do it in qualifying, no problem, do it in the race. This is where it all matters. So of course everybody's on it and trying to show and do the best they can on track. So let's have a look at the constructors and the drivers title at the moment, as we are just on the break. We're going to try and find the constructors and the drivers title for this tier as it is standing at the moment. There we go. As at the moment, the Constructors title for Tier 1 is Red Bull currently lead the Constructors Championship with 104 points. Ferrari in second place at the moment with Mercedes in third and Haas in fourth place. In fact, fifth is AlphaTauri with 30 points. Haas is with 51 points. As we try and go to the driver's title, of course, that is everybody is interested in, and that is Star Wars. In fact, the man starting on in fifth place, the man starting in fifth in the Grand Prix session. He's retired, as we see top right. The cars are ready on track to go, as Star Wars currently lead the championship with 104 points, and that shows the Red Bull currently leads the constructors title, and all those points are from Star Wars. 104 points, and that is Russell with 54. I think a big deficit actually to the championship leader for the second place, and then it's Cap with 30 in third place, and then Dots in fourth place, currently on pole. So all definitely he's got a great chance to get the Grand Prix win and get the better of the driver's title leader currently in the championship, to do the best in the business and in the race to have his chances at the driver's title. Of course, it's a long season, it's only round 5 we are at the moment, so anyone could take it, as Logo is 5th in the driver's title, and then it is AN in 6th, SB 7th, and Nosy 8th, with Theodoric and Fish completing the top 10 in the driver's title. So now it is time. In fact, it'll be only a matter of time now. We'll be on the grid, ready for the race action, of course. Here we go, we are on the track and already waiting, as it is looking like a formation lap to begin with, of course. And there we go, there's already a driver. It is a start, so it is not a formation lap. Maybe, I don't know why he's got a drive-through penalty having started despite this is only the formation lap. Everybody's just warming up their tires, and there we go, as we get the details enabled, of course, as we're going to see trying who is starting on what tire. So everybody is starting on the medium compound tire except the 3 drivers. One is SB, of course, starting way behind, so that means he's going to be in 12th place with the hard compound tire, as we have the cars back on the grid. I think people getting out of the formation lap and getting disqualified. So that's a bit of a mess, I think, but hopefully not for the race start. Nothing like that happens. As 2 drivers starting on the soft compound tire, of course, so is Seeger and Harry. It is, as everybody's now retiring, or something's going on again, because there is something, I believe. Everybody's retiring from the session, or some kind of an issue. We're again facing. I don't know what is happening. I think I might have. Okay, so it is going to be a brand new lobby. There have been some kind of an issue, maybe, of course, drivers getting disqualified or getting out of the race. So we'll have to leave the lobby, as yes, as I was saying, a drive-through penalty on a formation lap is not usual. So that is the reason that ends up being a brand new lobby, of course, because these issues are crazy, man. Like a formation lap and you get a drive-through penalty. It is you won't see it anywhere else. But of course, why not? We just wait and do the best we can. we'll just have to wait before we get a brand new lobby at the moment. And there you go, we have a new invite already, so hopefully we'll be beginning straight away as we get underway, and hopefully choose the spectator mode again, because that is sometimes you forget about it. There we go. So it was 13 drivers, remember, in the qualifying sessions. Of course, everybody joins in, and then we go already. And of course, the track setting should be updated because it is showing the Bahrain Grand Prix. And there you go, it is updated to the Dutch Grand Prix. It is. So 7 of them, of course, just in a little bit, because everybody now might be confused. Everybody leaving the lobby, as I also thought that I might have had another connection problem, but thank God it was not. Now there you go, everybody's joining in as quick as they can now, finally. Just 9 now, so just should be 3 more drivers with 10, 11, 12, and maybe 4, because if the 13th one comes as well, there was no lap from that 13th driver, but of course they will be racing, and it's not like if they didn't complete a qualifying lap they will not be racing. And there we go, just now we begin, hopefully just in a little bit, because earlier we had to wait a little bit, in fact quite a lot, for everybody to join in. Then we begin for the qualifying track action. Then now we are waiting race action, of course. Just in a minute's time, 36 lap of the Dutch Grand Prix. So do we see a split in the tire strategies from earlier, as it was only 3 drivers starting on the different tires. It was everybody else on the mediums. Then it was the soft tires, then it was 2 softs and 1 hard. Do we see anything change here? From maybe there is a chance we do so. There you go, that is completed now. All 13 drivers in and ready to go. There you go, so someone out of the lobby again, but we're just trying to begin, of course, as soon as possible. Had a lot of we sure had more off-track screen time than on-track screen time, but no worries, we can wait a little if we're gonna have a stable race session. Of course, I think formation lap, getting a drive-through penalty on a formation lap is just weird, and yeah, I don't know what they do. Like, they just fill the game with bugs, and there you go, it's back again into session. Hopefully now we will be beginning, and no more problem of trying to complete drivers into the lobby. So still waiting, and there you go, we're finally beginning. I think there is issue for someone, but of course not other 12 aren't going to be waiting, or just for because of that one person. Of course you can get them in, but if there is too many issues you can just get them out for a little. And there you go, just 3 more seconds, then we'll finally be out and back on track for the action we have been wanting to go to. the on-track action, of course. There we go, just 20 seconds before we get into the session and beginning the rest on tracks. Of course, 5 red lights we've been waiting for. There you go, we are finally on track as cars once again prepare for their race start and their strategies to get into the race session and get a greater race start than the cars around them. So of course it is going to be definitely an exciting one, and everybody wants to do one thing, and that is stay out of the mess into one. You don't want to be doing that after a bit of a wait already. So everybody, I'm sure everybody's just already waiting to begin as soon as possible, as we are waiting still. We're still waiting, of course. I don't know why we are at the moment, but of course trying to keep it entertaining as possible, but not much you can do to say after without really action, but hopefully we will do it just in a little bit. Okay, so people are still doing and preparing their setups, maybe not ready yet. Of course, everybody on the grid now, just eager enough to begin it. I'm sure you don't want to get it wrong. You want to be on the right setup, on the right tire, and on the right tire strategy to begin with, because anything you do wrong could be all your hard work in qualifying undone, because you can be on pole maybe in qualifying, but if you do not execute the race the perfect way, that'll end up ruining it for you. So of course, if you've put a performance and a great lap in qualifying, you want it to be useful and you want it to be the best ever, because the race is where it all matters. You could be last in the race and come across the field to win it. So definitely the race execution needs to be on point for everybody. There we go, finally we'll have the 5 red lights to begin with. Do we have the formation lap right now, or don't we? It doesn't look like, as it's a great start for the pole driver from the first into turn 1. They go, it's close between the Ferrari and the Red Bull of Peru, and there goes Russell leading into turn 1 already. It is a safe start for everybody, at least not colliding, as Russell already taking the Grand Prix lead into turn 1. As we try and get to see what tires they are on. So they are all on medium tires except Andy and Seeger. Still fantastic as you see the action at the back of the track. It is the G and Seeger in fact fighting it out on track. Seeger on this medium tire. I think he started quite behind. And there we go. There it is. Cap and SB fighting it out. Cap, SB on the inside he goes. And there is a collision already. And already a spinner from the race. Into turn 1 he went. And he really pretty much going on the inside. I think that was, he stuck his nose in. And that is really a penalty. Not a penalty, I don't know. But that is, we'll leave that to the stewards. As we see a bit of a movement out here as well. SB that was dirty. Stuck his nose in. Was not given enough space. But he sure should have been a bit more careful as we just await this action. As there you go, Venom goes really wide. SB's right behind him. So is Vister trying to be the best, as Vister is currently leading. But on the inside is SB, is on the straight. They are switching positions. Who will be late on the brakes? It is SB into turn 1. But surely he's going to be coming back. Vister at him as he's on the inside already on SB. On the inside, they might collide enough, but they don't. And there's already a yellow flag. Do we see? It's from somebody out here. I'm trying to look at what has happened, and there you go. That is a virtual safety car already. Virtual safety car, maybe from that incident between Venom and Cap. Sorry, it wasn't Venom, it was SB and Cap, of course, trying to fight, but that ended up ruining pretty much with that dive bomb from SB. So Cap got damaged, because if it is simulation damage, he might have side pods damaged. But of course, as it is going to be a virtual safety car, and I think at the end of the lap it should be going back to green flag racing, but we'll see just in a little bit as we await the Grand Prix start again, because already on lap 2 getting the... Do we get to green flag racing as he comes across the line? And not yet. So VSC is still continuing VSC. And there we go. That is Courtmaster in the Ferrari and in the pits. Does he have damage? And yes, there is a whole new front wing to him, and that is damage to him. And there we go. There's already DRS enabled, and that we go racing already. We didn't see any notification, but we sure are going to see that action now. Star Wars trying to attack Dots as well. Dots got a fantastic lap in qualifying, but maybe not great start off the line, as he was already overtaken by Russell into turn 1. It's both Red Bull, the G and Star Wars. The G, I wonder if it's his first race or he has raced before, because Star Wars currently leads the Drivers' Championship, and it is, and Red Bull also can lead the constructors. And there you go on the inside. Star Wars trying to get a move on Dots Beru, who breaks later into the corner, round the outside. Great wheel-to-wheel racing, as on the inside now trying to get a greater exit. But Dots trying to have a better one than the driver behind. But can he continue it? Can he keep it? So far he has done so, but can he do it within the DR with the help of DRS? And on the inside, both Red Bulls, not one but both, trying to have a move on Dots and overtake him, of course. And that is G and Star Wars ahead, as other drivers getting now fastest laps. Venom 113.3, but it's race time only. As we're seeing these guys fight for second place at the moment. Russell is out on his own, as we'll try and find the gap. And there is a spin, and there might be another spinner like earlier, and Smart is already out of the race. Do we see his car on track? Not at the moment, and it's a safety car. It's already a safety car there. Smart, remember, was out of the qualifying session as well, and now out of the race as well. So safety car, and Courtmaster might not be benefiting from this, but in fact he might be, because he just pitted. And if anybody else tries to pit, especially the soft tire runners, of course, they'll be wanting to switch to maybe hard tires to go a bit long. But you can never know. It's his early safety car. So as we stand, Russell got the lead into turn 1, and that shows. Sure, he couldn't do the lap in quali, but in fact I think he was going to improve and in fact have a lap, but he in fact if you remember, hit the wall and spun, so that damaged so far he's recovered it. Currently leading by 2.3 seconds from Star Wars, and Dots has lost it. You know, he got on that main straight, of course, DRS for both the Red Bull, ending up denying Dots for that second place at the moment. Red Bull pretty much after the Ferrari 3 and 4, as Courtmaster currently in last place, considering he did pit just before the safety car, so he is currently far away from everybody else, and there are drivers pitting with Wister and Venom going on the softer compound tire. Does Wister come out ahead of Courtmaster? I think he does, and yes he does. So that is going to be a fight off the restart, and of course Court would have been pushing to not get a lap, or in fact stuck behind him, because sure, he pitted earlier than the safety car and he wants to be the quicker and the better one. Of course he's got the medium tires on, so he pitted before the safety car, so there was no much requirements before, but now still this is behind the safety car. Of course now the pack is all bunched up, and a great chance for Star Wars to take back that lead. Not take back that lead, but in fact lead the Grand Prix from the start. He's leading that driver's title, so he wants to be continuing his title definitely, so that race lead would help him at least to put some pressure on Russell as well, or some fight from him, because Star Wars, remember, he retired and then his time ended up being as fast as P5. But I think as how much points he's just get to see that in a matter of time, as we're only on lap 6 out of 36. I'm sure it is only going to get better. Ooh, a bit of a lock up there from Russell, of course, trying to slow down before the Ferrari. Sorry, before not the Ferrari, but before the safety car that almost could have bumped into them. As it is now, I think this could be the end, and it for the safety car this time. We'll just get to know it in a little bit if the safety car is gonna be ending. And yes, that is gonna be safety car back into the pits in this lap. So it is gonna be Russell leading from Star Wars, from Dots, and then of course all the grid is now bunched up and slowing down, and Russell is gonna try his maximum, and there you go, Charles gets a penalty with a collision with his own teammates. He definitely wasn't looking for that. And it is super close. When does Russell begin? He's slowed down. He's super slow on the, still at the moment, slowing down to get the grid ready. And does he go now? It looks like he has gone on for it already, as the G now has a penalty. Another penalty, I think. Is it going to be like 10 laps for 10 seconds of penalty time for him? And he's already went for it. It was a great restart from Russell. Caught Star Wars off guard. And they're seeing drivers pitting, and could Courtmaster be making a move into turn 1 on Vista, of course. He lost it in the pits. Can he win it on track? They're still wheel to wheel. There could be action into the corner. He backs out of it. Does Courtmaster at the moment. And they're the three bunched up to each other now. It is Cap on the medium, then Vista on the hard, then again Court on the top medium as well. But if we have another battle out here, that is indeed SB and Andy at the moment. But that is a bit of a far gap. But not enough gap maybe. Because even if you are the leader at the moment, forget the race leader, but other positions, you know, the pack, for example, it is 2 and 3 for the Red Bulls. They're kind of comfortable. Then it is for 4, 5, 6 that are also bunched together with each other, and there could be a proper chance for SB coming into the last corner and on that start finish line. He could be using all of his ERS, so it's Andy using all of it to defend, but SB is going to switch to the inside line to go into turn 1. There was close between them, and he goes ahead of Andy into turn 1, and he gets the fastest lap to himself as well. Still close, still not far away from SB is Andy, but now SB is catching up to Dots. You know, Dots got a pole position to himself, but he's just been falling ever since, and Courtmaster is already ahead of Whistler now. Does he go on the move on Kip? When does he do it? It's only going to be a matter of time he gets Kip, because Cap does have fuel up older tires, so Courtmaster a bit of more grip to himself. He's not using any of that ERS, but he might be going in on the inside. Does he make the move here? He does not, because it might be some mind games at this point, because at that main straight it is even better to overtake, and a bit not easier, but of course if he was going to be ahead there was a bit of a chance for him to be losing his position, so he of course doesn't want to do that, and now he's going to use all the ERS he has. So will Cap to defend this position. Does he go on the inside? Yes, he does. Codemaster on the inside, but Cap is not falling behind. He's not pulling out. He might have to at the moment, but still he's falling. He's catching him behind and keeping with him for as far as he can. Does he attack him again, as SB now just getting closer and closer to Dots at the moment? Of course, Dots trying to maintain his position in 4th place, and I think his race pace is not as good as the quali pace, you could say, but still, Cap now still close, still with the help of DRS, and a lot of ERS to the support of Cap going into the next DRS zone. So if he uses both together, he's going to do that to get closer and stay closer to Courtmaster. Court, remember, pitted a lap earlier than the safety car, and as it was an earlier safety car, we didn't saw much action in the pits. And there we go, but Court is now in fact more closer to Andy than he's closer to Cap. So both are going to go jumping into the pits. So no, both aren't going to jump into the pits, as Andy does jump into the pits. Of course, the soft tires now rolling out, but I mean, if you had to pit, you could have pitted behind the safety car as well. That is just some strategic moves from Andy at the moment, of course. And there you go, both Red Bulls maintaining the positions, as G has a penalty anyways. He's going to try and maintain all his positions. It's Courtmaster pulling away, and Dots has been overtaken. We might have missed that, as Dots have been now overtaken by SB as well. Sure, SB had that bit of dive bomb moment earlier, but he's doing everything he can to maximize the damage done. He's done 9 laps on those hard tires. Of course, he started the race on them. Then might have been a bit of a downfall, as he had a moment with one of the Mercedes drivers. But as the safety car happened, it got the field bunched up, and everybody that lost their chances to regain them at the restart, as these guys are super close, as in fact Star Wars has taken the lead. We were not even following them, as it was the battle at the bottom of the field, as on the inside into turn 1, a bit of a contact between them as well. Russell is not holding back from that race lead, but so is in Star Wars. He's going to try and attack his teammate. I remember they were not close, but they just begin to have close. Maybe Russell made a mistake, or Star Wars seem to pick up some more pace, as they are even separated by less than half a second at the moment. Lap 11 out of 36. Lap 11 out of 36. The top 2, in fact top 3 now, as SB is now coming towards them. The top 5 are within 1 second. That is a great gap. All top 5 cars within 1 second of them. And the top 2 within half second. He doesn't go for that move into this DRS zone, but he will do it on the main straight, of course, because I'm hoping for that with the help of DRS and all the ERS he's got. Russell has got pretty much only 16%, but that is going to be not even anything versus over 50% of his drivers and his rival behind. And on the inside there could be a chance for Star Wars. He's going for it. Russell doesn't hold back. He breaks later around the outside and still keeps the position on. He just gets a greater and better exit out of the corner, does Russell, to keep and maintain his race lead. So we are also having a moment at the bottom of the field as well, but that is definitely not going to be more. Of course, it is going to be entertaining in terms of racing action. But here, the one for the race lead, and these guys have collided. SB has been involved in another accident as we just switched the cameras. SB has collided with a Red Bull. And SB, I think, remember at the start of the race, he collided with the Mercedes. I don't know, but he seems to have some kind of a problem just dive bombing people the most unusual way, and I'm surprised there hasn't been a penalty yet to his way. I could be wrong. It could be the child's mistake, but anything, you never know. That is not going to be happiness. Definitely not happy is going to be the child, because the Red Bulls were doing the most they could, and they were showing they're performing, both the drivers. And again now Star Wars once again has a chance to go for that race lead, and he doesn't succeed at the moment. He's just staying close. That is in fact gonna be his goal pretty much at the moment, because if he's staying close with the help of that DRS, at one point Russell is gonna end up out of that ERS, but also out of the grip that these tires provide as well. Of course, both the drivers having the tires they started the race on, and these guys are close. Vister and Cap to themselves. And SB is still in 4th place as Child now pits on the compound tire. And another chance now for Russell, and one more chance for Star Wars to take that race lead, but I think he's not going to do it. He might go for the move on the inside this time. He does not, just stays behind as he's trying to find the best position and that best part of the track to overtake. But he is far enough. I think he is far enough to defend, does Russell, because Russell is going to run out of that ERS lap after lap. But Star Wars hasn't been able to attack him everything, because he once got into turn 1 ahead of him but didn't make the move stick. And there has been a spinner from an AlphaTauri, and that is Venom in fact. But we're going to switch our focus back. We're on lap 14 out of 36. So this is a big race and a bigger battle. I think for the moment Star Wars is pretty much going to even save his tires if he's going to stay behind him. But I think shorter, he looks faster, to be honest, because he's staying close to him. He's trying to catch him lap after lap, as we have another DRS already. And there is a virtual safety car. And that is a retirement. And that might have been Russell. Gets in out of the session. I think he was off track, so I wonder he crashed or he retired himself. Child doesn't pit, of course. He pitted earlier. So do we see any pit entry action? And I think, okay, so it is a virtual safety car. It is not a full safety car, but still the chance of pitting and a chance of, well, these drivers now pitting, because 13 laps on those mediums, now they'll be running out. And now, of course, they would be wanting to pit and get a fresh set of rubbers on their car. Does Russell pit? Does he pit at the moment? Yes, he does. And I think you can expect everybody to pit except the Child, or maybe Andy, because he pitted a few laps earlier. And there you go. Ferrari trying to match this pit stop the best and do it the better way. And there you go. He's already out of the pits. And the likes of SB have not pitted. SB, and it's already, we are racing again. It was the virtual safety car only, so we're back again racing with Vister having pitted during the first safety car, I believe. He's done 10 laps on that hard compound tire, so he's gonna keep that with Russell in 3rd place. And that's pretty much race lead. It's a bunched up getting out of the pits field, as Andy is gonna get ahead of those guys, trying to stay ahead of them, of course, for the time being, as we don't do. And there is switch of positions between these drivers as they pit. Does Colt Master Star Wars, of course, was in second place, but he pitted. And it's also Cap in the Mercedes behind them. As Star Wars is already ahead of Cap. Even on cold tires, of course, you're coming out of the pits. There won't be the temperature you want in the tires for the time being. SB currently leads the Grand Prix by 2.7 seconds. But of course, he has not pitted yet. So it's only going to be a matter of time before he has to pit and come into the pits. But at the moment, he's going to go long on those hard tires. He might make this strategy work. He's been involved in various incidents. He has been involved in various incidents, but Star Wars now trying and attack back the Ferrari. Of course, he's been overtaken. Courtmaster might help his teammates, but not at this point. With the help of that DRS and that rear wing open, he gets through easily and past Star Wars. Sorry, past Courtmaster Star Wars himself, as we're on lap 36 out of 6. Oh, sorry, lap 16 out of 36 now. So 20 more laps to the end. So still a long race. First bit of pit stops have happened during a virtual safety car and a safety car. We have had one full course safety car, but not anymore at the moment. But you can never know, as we had the likes of Venom and Venom crash, closing a virtual safety car, and there it is, still close between these guys, and there could be another chance for, in fact, but I think Star Wars does have ERS, so he'll be able to defend quite easily from Master, but maybe that DRS, you never know, but I think he's going to have DRS from Andy, so he's going to try and clear up Andy as soon as possible, as Russell currently has the fastest lap, 12.1, he's currently in third place, but that is the native lead, as the drivers ahead are yet to pit, of course. Andy switching to that inside line maybe early enough in case he had to defend into turn 1, but it might be only getting harder and harder for him, as he's only got 20% of that ERS. So is Courtmaster now trying to attack. One mistake from Andy, going to lose him his 5th position, as Star Wars now going to try and attack Andy for that position, of course. Lap 17 out of 36. But they have pitted, they might go to the end on these compounded tires. As these three, does he go on the inside? He does not. Star Wars, of course. SB should learn from that. It was, in fact, the Cap in there now on the inside. He has a better chance, and he's got a better. He might even have DRS as well. He does not, but the drivers behind have DRS, as ND is now losing to Courtmaster as well. He'll try to defend that inside line. He does not, as round the outside. He's got better grip, does Courtmaster, on the fresher tires. And he will have DRS. Courtmaster will have the help of DRS to attack and try and get as closer to Star Wars as much as possible, but that doesn't matter. He has enough ERS to defend, but Courtmaster might be close enough, and too close for comfort at the moment for Star Wars. There you go, we're back, as I just had a bit of a drink, as these guys are close. It's Andy and it's not Courtmaster, it is Cap, in fact. So Star Wars chilling at the moment with Dots 5.9 seconds ahead. Did he pit? Did Dots pit under the safety car? And Star Wars might have got caught off guard, because it would have been too close. As we see switch of positions, there could be another chance for Cap to go on the inside. He just stays behind, and ND, of course, now struggling with those medium compound tires, as everybody now on brand new tires has a lot more grip than he does. So of course it is only a struggle for him, as they'll go into turn 1. Andy's got no ERS to defend, and Cap's got everything to overtake, and he goes ahead of him before they even get into turn 1. Great. And he's ahead of them already, and now it is close between the two, between Courtmaster and Star Wars. Still Star Wars. Okay, so the switch of positions we saw from these guys already, because Star Wars got ahead of Quartmaster, but then switch of positions do happen in other parts of the track as well. It's moreover these guys would be having to fight, because now both are on similar tires, so only drivers ahead who you could expect pitting would be Vister and SB. So other than them, these are the positions they have, but Quartmaster at the moment does not have ERS, just 8%. I doubt that is going to be enough to defend, unless he could do extraordinary. This might not be enough, but we'll see how it goes, and it is going to be with help of ERS. No DRS, of course, as well, as he's going to the inside line and forcing him the long way route. But the long way route, to be done, is not going to be enough for Star Wars at the moment. But can he come back at any other part of the track? Not so far, but he could be doing that just in a little bit. There we go, another yellow flag. That might be ND, and ND is out of the race. And we're going to switch to this Mercedes to see if he has crashed. And it is going to be a full course safety car. Do we see his car? As his car is just cleared up, but I believe he might have hit the wall on the exit, because this is a Blanca curb. So started 12 drivers, 3 of them already out, and it is a full course safety car. And this is in fact going to be a great chance for SB to pit and come out without losing as less positions as he can, because he stayed as long as he could, but I doubt he's going to be able to. Yes, he pits, but he might have to do a 2-stop strategy, because surely 20 laps on those hard. But I wonder if he's going to be able to complete the remaining 16 laps on those medium tires. Should be enough to have that. Definitely also brand new tires. So do we see any other? Visser also comes into the pits as other drivers, and so did Russell also into the pits. And of course, all those on the hard compound tire now want the medium to the end of the race. Finally, Ken Dots show us some better performance, because his race pace hasn't been up to the mark despite getting the pole position. But as everybody now pits, so pretty much every person on brand new tires now. Does Child pit? He pits as well. He has some kind of penalties as well. So look at who have the penalties. So it is 5 seconds for Beirut. I wonder why he did not pit. Why he didn't pay it. He might have only got it while entering the pits. That could have been an issue, and Star Wars gets a 3-second penalty as well, and his teammate pays the 5-second penalty that he had. So a lot less to worry about for Red Bull drivers now, having paid their penalties. And now every single driver is on brand new tires, but Court is not. But he's caught up to his teammate. Quartmaster, no brand new tires. And SB, of course, now into the lead. He did not pit. He was leading, but he stayed out in long enough for someone to cause a safety car, and that allows him to take that race lead. So he's in fact leading the race on merit now. Lap 21 out of 36, so this could be the lap that safety car comes in. Of course, not this one, but the lap after this one that we're going to begin just right now. So in a little bit, we'll get to see the actions. 9 drivers now remain, and every single one of them has brand new medium compound tire. Quartmaster doesn't, but he's going to try everything to stay within his teammate and bring that one Ferrari 1-2 home. Because I believe he had to pit earlier. I think got damage to the front wing, so at the very start of the race, and that is a good shaping for Ferrari and the constructors as well at the moment. Of course, Russell Quartmaster warming his hard tires up, because that tire needs temperature. That tire needs grip to get off the line. You'll not be getting off the line early enough if you've not got any grip in those tires. And how does SB go through that restart? It was I'd say a perfect restart from Russell from the safety car earlier. Of course, this is our second safety car. So how good of a restart can SB do? I think SB has been involved in a fair share of incident. Let it be his fault or not, but he has been, so. Hope you're enjoying the stream at the moment. If you're new around here, make sure to follow as we'll be beginning, as we'll be coming in with these guys every Saturday. And other than that, every other day I do my own streams. And there you go, safety car will be in this lap. So far it's slow. So far he is slow. It is SB. When does he go? He's looking to go maybe. He's not weaving. He is slow, but he is not weaving as Russell is ready. Russell is ready with everything he has to attack as SB is still slow. SB is still going slow. He doesn't accelerate. When will he accelerate? Russell is so close to him. He's in fact using ERS as well as Russell. As soon as he has the chance to overtake the race leader, he is going to do it as soon as possible. And there you go. He's now went for it really late from SB, but into turn 1. So far at the moment he is going to be safe, but it could only be a matter of time before he gets overtaken by the race leader Russell. As at the bottom of the grid we maybe having a switch of positions. It is the child who also pitted a few laps earlier, but then had to pit again. As on the inside, on the exit, might have a chance, but he does not. Seeger just gets a bit of a better exit around the outside, more grip, and then there you go. We're here to the leaders. I'm afraid SB could cause another collision. I mean, he has had fair share of incidents, and he could not be at fault, but I think we'll see how it goes. Fighting the leader for him. He's currently leading, stringing out a great strategy. Hard to medium tires, of course. So now all he needs to do is bring his car back home and bring to the end of the race. Of course, it is not going to be easy as we have 13 laps to the end of the race, and now it's going to be pretty much a sprint. And there you go, the chance for Russell to take the lead. Race lead could be on and on now. Russell already gets the fastest lap, as on the inside he might try and go for it, and he goes for it. They in fact make contact, and SB goes wide, losing the race lead, and he might lose even more positions as the SB's teammate. Sorry, Courtmaster is right behind in the other Ferrari for him, but that was, he pushed wide a little. He tried this time. I think he really did a good job staying out of that action. There might have been a bit of contact, but not enough to ruin anybody's race. As we have a look at these guys, it is so close between Vister and Courtmaster. There could be a chance for Vister to overtake, but so does Dots. Now have been losing positions, but there could be a chance for him on the inside, but he in fact gets overtaken around the outside by Star Wars. Star Wars is doing all his best to unleash that performance because he was in second place, and I think he's been the bigger loser out of the safety car. SB got satisfied and got a better of it, and Seeger now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And there you go. Now there could be another chance for SB. He's not using any ERS at the main straight so far, and Russell have got none of it, only 19%. He might need to save it on this lap as we're having a look at that, as Vister is already ahead of Courtmaster, of course. He's going to try and split these drivers, and now Star Wars would be eager enough to get ahead of Courtmaster. Does he get a better exit on the exit of the corner? Now he's just super on the gearbox of Courtmaster, but there's not enough space to go for a move, because you might cause collisions or might be causing some action. We are on lap 25, of course, so within a lap it's like 11 laps remaining, as it is still. There's a chance for Courtmaster to be back at it, but does he brake later? He does brake later, in fact, ahead of Star Wars at the moment. But Star Wars might get him with the help of DRS. But one man who might get the lead with the help of DRS is going to be here. SB now trying to attack Russell. Russell's got no ERS to defend. SB gets the fastest lap round the outside. Might have been a bit of touching as well there. These guys, a bit of love taps between those two, and another chance for SB to come back at him is not Russell. I think, sure, he doesn't have ERS, but he seems to have pace on the exit of corners. He just seems to be perfecting them to keep what he wants to, as Witstar at the moment ahead of course, Codemaster, who's trying everything to defend Star Wars and helping Russell, his teammate, keeping their championship leader for behind as far as he can do, though. Is of course going to be inside. He goes on the inside, does Codemaster on that Ferrari. So he's of course been overtaken by the Red Bull already, and Codemaster now stuck between that Mercedes sandwich. Both are going to try and attack him already, and Star Wars is going to now try and clear that Alpine ahead as soon as possible, because I'm sure he's just simply waiting for to attack the drivers ahead, the likes of SB and Russell, for that race lead, of course, as into turn one there would be a chance, and that is going to be a clear overtake for him so far, as we have another overtake from the Mercedes guys that are attacking Codemaster with that soft compound tire, that hard compound tire. He's not having it, but he's giving it all. He's not getting it easy for others as well. Might be a chance around the outside for him. It is not at the moment for Seeger, so we're trying, these guys are trying everything, but that switch of position now has been successful between these two, so still not enough for SB to attack. But at the moment, Star Wars still behind, over 3 seconds the gap to the leaders. We're on lap 36 out, lap 27 out of 36, but still a long way to the end. So anything that's Dots have now pitted. I don't know if he just doesn't have pace or he's not unable to unleash it in the race. Dots Berry was on pole in qualifying, but then hasn't been able to have a race as he would have wanted. But on the main straight, these guys are trying to have the race they want to have. SB now, another chance for him to take the lead. Does he go for it on the inside? He almost sticks his front nose in, and that could have caused another incident. And Russell, I think, had a bit of maybe over something that caused him to slow down, but he comes back at him. What a fight these guys are having, as SB got ahead of him into turn one, but Russell just seems to have perfect in that exit. That corner exit is fantastic for them, as Cap is now ahead of Codemaster, and also so is Seeger, trying to get ahead of that Ferrari, of course, as he pushes him wide a little, and Seeger goes super wide, and that was not what he would have wanted, and there was a bit of maybe contact for that Red Bull as well. Maybe not contact, but just a bit of tap, and he was ghosted, and that was not good from Court, maybe pushing him wide. He was trying everything he could, and that race lead has been still staying to Russell so far. Car number 67 getting attacked by car number 25, who's going to be on top. One more chance. They are less than half a second too close to each other as well, so every lap SB's having a chance on it. Russell's been great on his defending. Into turn one, again they go. Russell sticks his nose in. SB has to pull away, give up enough space, but this time again SB has his nose in. Into the next corner they go. He has to back out, of course. You cannot go 2 into 1. Lap 29 out of 36, so maybe he's pulling up. Star Wars is pulling in, but I think P3 is going to be really what he would want to stick up here for, and he's going to be happy with that pole position, to be honest. Not pole position, but that third place podium. Still leads the Constructors title at the moment. Oh, sorry, not the Constructors, but the Drivers title, of course. At the moment, lap 29 out of 36. Russell keeping that lead still. SB eager to get ahead. There could be another chance, in fact, here. Does he go on the inside? He does not. It looks like they are going for the inside. Maybe that's how the camera angle shows us. He's got over 70% ERS. I'm amazed by Russell. He's got less than 20% ERS, just 13, 15 going into that straight. But at the end of it, he's always ahead. But this time, can it be different? Once again, these are on for that. He does not. He doesn't have a chance to go for that, as already lap 30 out of 36. And this fight could be on as, okay, anyways, Courtmaster now into the pits. He's not having those hard tires really. In fact, pushed the driver wide as well, ruining their race. As Vitster now is in 4th place, of course. Star Wars just could have been just too fast for him. So he just tried everything he could in his interest and in his performance to keep that position. The leaders are still going for it. Russell still keeping that. I mean, sure, both, I think, Pitted and SB. And there you go, Dots gets the fastest lap, of course, having the soft compound tire to himself, but that is not the matter at the moment. Matter is these guys. Russell is saving all the RS he can during the lap just to attack it to the people ahead. It is going to be another chance, and one more chance for SB. This time he's close enough. This time it could be very early before they even get to the DRS detection point, and he's taken the race lead, and Russell loses out on it, and no chance to gain it back into turn 1, at least at the moment. But he's going to be coming for it. He's not going to lose or let this win slide out of his hands early enough, and he almost goes into the back of SB. SB has drove so far so good, except for those 2 incidents. You have to give the credit where it's due. He's been doing what he has to so far. And there you go. There could be another chance for Russell to try and take back that race lead, of course, as soon as possible, because he doesn't want to give up on this race win. You go, they're on there now, trying their best and trying everything they can, and Russell will have DRS, in fact, into turn 1 now. As we try and focus on that, Russell already with that help of DRS going into it. That ERS of SB not in use at all for the moment. Hey, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're enjoying the stream at the moment. These guys are really keeping us busy at the fights, really. There is fights at the back of the field as well. I'm sorry I've not been able to keep up between these guys. It's between Cap and Vista as well, trying to keep that position. But now Russell is showing his real self. He's now pulling away, or maybe SB is just now dropping on his tires, as the gap is over 1 second now. The most it's been in the fight between these two. So we try and focus on Kip and Vista to try and get the action out of these guys at the moment. As now these guys are close, are Codemaster and Child. I think the G was pushed back by Mercedes, or in fact Courtmaster himself, if I'm not wrong. So it is only going to be a few things, and these guys are close enough, and SB is already in the race lead. We seem to miss that action because there's another chance for Russell to take back, and Star Wars is now close to these guys as well, as they're still wheel to wheel going into turn 1. Who gets the better exit? A bit wide goes Russell. Could be a chance for SB, not at the moment. So now Star Wars within their 1 second as well. So maybe Russell seemed to gain a little bit, but not enough for this. For this lead to stay consistent, of course, as the drivers behind pick up the pace as well. We are keeping how we are keeping at the moment. Lap 33 out of 36. So not many laps, or not enough laps at the moment. Can SB get another chance into this corner? He will not, as we have a look at the other Ferrari. He's been down there as Child gets a penalty. There we go, the J. But this Ferrari and Aston Martin fight has been the one keeping us entertained and keeping us sticking to their seat. As now there is a chance again for SB on the inside, but is Russell going to let him keep the move? He's not going to do that. He's going to come back on the exit, but he's just falling short to get back into the lead. And now Star Wars as we are on lap 34. He's at the moment staying behind. At the moment, he's staying behind for the attack to do so. He's not attacking as the G gets the fastest lap. He's still keeping that position as these guys will try and fight as the leaders. Now they are super close to each other, less than half a second separating the top three. Where will you see this? Anywhere else? Who are you rooting for? May the best driver win here, of course. SB. Oh, there he goes wide. Russell has outbraked himself and went wide, and that is going to cost him dear, and that is going to cost him a lot, and that is going to cost him not only the race lead, but second place. It might cost him third place as well, as Cap has been able to overtake him. And now it opens the gate for Star Wars to go have that ERS and DRS to attack SB into turn one. Does he make the move stick? SB's coming back at him. He's not pulling out, does SB, but it's not going to be enough. And Russell going to be furious with himself. He could have at least kept up that second place. He's going to try and attack the drivers now, but might be too late now, because you did everything you could from the start to finish, but just bottled it in the last lap. He outbraked himself, of course. That ended up causing him going through the gravel trap and ending his pretty much race, you could say. He's still in fourth place, but that is going to cost him there. Because Star Wars current championship leader, we would have wanted to see another winner, of course, of the Grand Prix, but still close. It's still not over yet. Still SB could have a chance and attack Star Wars for that race lead and that race win, as we are coming across the last few corners now, and that is gonna be the beginning of that last lap. And this time it's not gonna be anything less than what we've seen the last few times, and even more aggression as round the outside. SB goes into turn one ahead of him. Does he pull out? Does Star Wars pull out of the race? He does not, but he certainly has to, as SB gets a better exit. He slightly went wide, but he got the exit better. And there is a yellow flag, and that is a Ferrari maybe spinning. That was not a Ferrari. I think I saw the car. It was someone else. Do we see attacking, as there is Courtmaster on the inside trying to defend his move. There is other moves as well around the outside. Could be a chance for the child, for the G. Could the G try and take that lead? Not lead, but we've had so much fight for that lead. I'm trying to other positions for lead as well, but it is the last lap. It is still close, as SB has taken that lead back again. Who is going to win? This is sticking to us, to our seats, to the end. We might even see a photo finish to the end, but Star Wars has a penalty. So anyways, SB is going to win, even if he finishes in second place. But still, we love to see who's going to come home and finish first on track. And that is going to be SB coming on around the finish line to win the Dutch Grand Prix. He's got the Dutch delighted crowd here in the Grand Prix, and that is Star Wars second, and then Russell in third place after his incident that he wouldn't have wanted to. Visser, of course, finishes second, fourth, fifth is going to be Cap, and these guys are still fighting. Cap takes the checkered flag as well. The G and Courtmaster, who's going to be on top? Courtmaster could be, and it is the G, just super close. This was in fact the photo finish we were talking about, and now it is going to be Seeger and Dots. Really poor race for him, beginning on those pole position. Remember, he started in first place, and he has not had the race he would have wanted. Still got points, of course, with the DNFs, but he was not able to convert that pole to the win, of course. And I'm sure he will be disappointed with himself, as SB gets the driver of the day. We have to say he drove fantastic. Sure, for this incident at the start of the race, but he did what he could, and he really got played everything, and fantastic. Deservingly, he did everything he could, and he deserved that race win, that's for sure. And there are your podium finishers. That is SB on top, with Star Wars and Russell, of course. It's a British double podium, It was a great fight from Russell as well, not to forget. He did everything he could, but just a mistake that really cost him to the end. So he's sure not going to be happy about himself. He could have still finished second, but I think fantastic. The most you could have tried to do. And we are just coming up to the end of the race now, and of the race of the end of the stream as well. But we have a look at the race finish order. With Star Wars, of course, had the penalty, so he was not going to be winning. So Russell knows that he had a proper chance of getting the win. But we have that. SB first place, starts at 11th of the grid, finishes first, and finished first, of course. Then Star Wars in second to sum it up. Russell in third, of course, had an incident, still manages to finish third. Vister in the Alpine fourth, I think the best he could have done. And then Cap trying to fight, caught Master to the line. He did everything they could, and that'll pretty much be the end of that session now. It was fantastic, it was great, and it was sure a tour brilliance. I'm sure everybody can look back at the stream and look back at the highlights of what we've just seen, and it was fantastic. I'm sure it was worthy. It was sure worthy enough to having a look at the stream and look at the race finishing order once again. Really greatness from everybody out there. So that is going to be it for the race. I hope you enjoyed it. If you just join us, you can get this race highlights just after as we end it. You can go back and watch it. And I'm sure this was the one to cheer out for everybody else. And this is going to be it. And that's the Grand Prix end. And that's going to be end of the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sure you will enjoy certain more in the future as well. And that'll be it for the stream. Catch you next week. Again on Saturday with all these talented drivers once again. I'm Zebex and I'm out.